Hi guys, happy Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me back on this podcast. I have a special guest. For you that do not know, this is my mom.
Hi.
I really wanted to put this on Sunday instead of Friday because I went to go film it and I felt like what I wanted to say wasn't coming out the way that I wanted to say it.
Mm-hmm.
So I called my mom and I said, hey, I would really like for you to do this podcast with me because the topic is depression and anxiety, something that I've struggled with for years. And who better to bring on this podcast, especially for this topic, than the person who really helped me and realized in myself that I can overcome this battle that I've always been facing since the age of 11.
He's never shared it before.
Yeah, I've never shared it personally, and I never shared it publicly. So that's really what I wanted to do. Was I really wanted to bring this on because this is the main message that I want to share across and be able to be the hand and the bridge for you to beat this thing that you are fighting, which is depression and anxiety. If you are struggling with this topic,
No, you're not alone.
you're not alone in this at all.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to start off this video and kind of connect with you by giving some Me Too's.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have ever been in a room full of people and you have felt completely alone, me too.
You ever felt like you've just been trapped in your head, where just the thought of going out into public, the thought of maybe going to a party or going to a public event or even going to somewhere where you have to go, but you are so stuck in your head, just the thought of getting dressed for it, you change clothes like 20 times and maybe even you cancel when you finally do, you don't even end up going, or if you do go, you are so stuck in your head when you get there that it's just so incredibly emotionally exhausting that it is work to be there.
If you ever felt like you were in a room full of people and as soon as you leave the room, the people immediately gather together or start whispering and talking to each other and talking about your insecurities or making fun of you or saying, why is he or she even here in the first place? They should not have come. They're not welcome here. Then me too.
Mm-hmm. Where you feel like you have absolutely no friends, and maybe you've even said to somebody that you have no friends, and that person says to you, are you kidding me? Everybody loves you, but you swear that it's not true, that nobody likes you. That is such a feeling that is so real to you. And people think that you're an idiot for saying it, but you literally feel like you have no friends.
If you feel like some days where you just want to lay in bed and cry and you just want to disappear from the world and just turn your mind off and just your thoughts are too loud on some days, like you can't even get out of your own way, then me too.
If you feel like you have this massive purpose and you're made for so much more, but you are completely paralyzed within yourself and you can't accomplish anything more than just existing, but yet you're made for so much more, but you can't do anything more, then me too.
Guys, we really wanted to bring this subject right now because we have both struggled with this thing, and especially me. I've been struggling with this since as long as I can remember, since 11 years old. I would always realize that I was different than my friends in the sense where guys always go to pick on each other, and whatever I would say to them, like joking around, it would just slide off of them and they would come up really quick with a witty remark. And what they would say about me actually stuck and it hurt.
Okay, and so I just have to pause right here because I know that maybe the first thing, if you're a guy that's listening to this, I know that the first thing that you want to say is, well, you're just sensitive, you're just a girl. And the fact of the matter is that his dad, my husband, if he's sitting here in the room, he's probably going to say the same thing, is that, don't be a chick, right? Like, guys don't talk about their emotions, first of all. So this is just kind of strange to hear a guy talking about his emotions. So first of all, we need to make this very normal that guys do have emotions and they're allowed to talk about their feelings, right?
Yeah.
Cole's talking about depression and anxiety. It's a very real thing, right? So this has to become more normalized where guys do talk about what's going on the inside of them, because there are men all over the world that are committing suicide, that are battling depression, that are battling suicide, that are bearing the weight of the world on their shoulders and not being able to talk about it. So Cole's talking about something today that's very real and that needs to be more normalized. And the fact that he is saying these things when he used to share them with my husband, that was the response he got from my husband was, dude, just be happy. Or, dude, you sound like a chick.
Happiness is a choice.
Happiness is a choice. You sound like a chick.
Yeah.
And when he would joke around with his buddies and then he would take it personally, Cole would take that in. And whatever they would joke around with him, Cole took it very to heart.
I looked at it as insecurities now that I have to worry about. Mm-hmm. If they see that, how did I not catch that? Well, now I have to worry about that thing because I feel like others see that too.
And no matter how many times we would say to him, don't let that bother you, oh, it bothered him.
It bothered me. That didn't do anything for me. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is a topic where guys are supposed to cry. Like, you're not supposed to keep your emotions bottled up, because how I always looked at it, if you look at a bottle, like a soda bottle, and you shake it up and you shake it up and you shake it up, it becomes more and more tense. And if you shake it up and continuously, when the pressure builds and builds and builds, it's going to explode. And when it explodes, it's not good. It leaves a mess for other people to have to clean up, and that's not at all what needs to happen. You need to let the pressure out of the bottle, and
absolutely,
you need to cry. You need to get your emotion out. It's okay to feel emotion. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel sad. Sad is an emotion. A lot of people need to understand that. And if you're out there, let your emotion out. Mm-hmm. Cry if you need to cry. Punch a pillow if you need to punch a pillow. Scream if you need to scream. Be alone if you need to be alone. You do not need to stay alone. Mm-hmm. Depression and anxiety is trying to take you out of your spot and isolate you. And you do not need to be isolated. It's okay to be alone, but it's not okay to be isolated and feel like you are alone. I struggled with this thing since I was 11, and it's always been a personal battle with me. Like, God, why can't I be like everybody else? Why do I have to feel this way about myself? Why do I have to hate myself? With everything I do, I criticize. You can tell me 10 things good about me, but if you tell me that one thing is going to beat me to pieces, and that will not leave my mind. It will keep me up at night and make me not able to sleep, because I feel like, wow, everybody else knows that too. Why didn't I know that about myself? Why did that have to be pointed out? It got to the point where it got really bad with age, but the worst age that it was college. I feel like as soon as I went to college, I was in the middle of Western Kansas with horrible people around me, and really some good people, and I really appreciate the good people out there who are watching, but really bad people, just people who made me feel awful about myself, coaches, teammates, people who just tearing me down 24/7, and just always pointing out the bad, never pointing out what I did good, just always making me feel less than a person and less than a player and a teammate. And just sitting in the middle of my room in the middle of Western Kansas, just crying behind closed doors and trying to put on a smile for other people. And it got to the point where I just started trying to drink my life away. I would drink every day. I would drink Sunday through Monday, just all the way through. Mm-hmm. And I would drink during the weekday. I would drink before practice a little bit. I would drink after practice. I would drink till my kidneys hurt, until I didn't feel like I wanted to move anymore. And it got to the point where I started using nicotine, where I started to try to numb my pain. Where I couldn't get a drink, I would just pull out my Nick stick and I would hit it a few times, get a buzz, and I would feel fine. And I remember I hurt my knee, and I was given a Perk 30 from a friend, and just saying, hey, take this, it'll make your knee pain go away, it's a quick fix. And I remember taking this pill, and I remember all my worries went away. All the sadness went away. I was happy. My mind was no longer cloudy and loud and foggy, and I was just, wow, this is a great feeling. I'm high as crap right now. I feel great. This is amazing. Weed could never do this for me. Weed made me feel paranoid. And when the high went away, I just have always had this craving of, wow, I need more pills. I need to start popping pills, because weed makes me paranoid, alcohol makes me more depressed, and nicotine gives me headaches. So I need these pills. And I chased it for so long, and thank God I never found any, because I would probably be dead like Juice WRLD, who was one of my idols and one of my icons, who I loved for sharing his story and his emotion, but he let the battle get the best of him. And that's really what I want to do is I didn't let the battle get the best of me, and I don't want the battle to get the best of you. So it was up until 2 weeks ago, I would say, there was a collab day at Clubhouse BH, and a bunch of creators got together, house was packed, making a bunch of content, meeting new people, making connections. And here I am with my sunglasses on and my nicotine, and I'm sitting at a calendar ruining my opportunities and sabotaging myself because I just feel like I did not want to be a person on the earth that day. I wanted to just disappear. I put my sunglasses on, like for those who have seen the movie Big Daddy, where Julian puts the sunglasses on that Adam Sandler gave him, and he's invisible. No one can see him. That's how I thought sunglasses worked for me. How I didn't have to make eye contact with you. I didn't have to look around the room. I could be looking down at the floor while I'm walking instead of having to make eye contact and sit up proper and look presentable. I could just disappear from the world. And I wanted to do that for so long, since I was 11. I didn't want to be in public. I felt like I had no friends. No one liked me. Every time I went somewhere, someone would just pick on me and just make me feel like crap. And then I ended up overthinking every little single thing, and I would lay in bed and stay up all night because I couldn't sleep because my mind was so loud and I couldn't think. And I just wanted to I just wanted to kill myself. I just wanted to end it. I was making jokes about it. I would be like, oh, I'm not going to wear a seatbelt today because honestly, if I get in a wreck and I die, who cares? I felt like the world was better off without me. I felt like I just had this overbearing weight on my shoulders that I had to carry that I just couldn't carry anymore. But I had to because I didn't want my parents to feel this pain that I felt, or my sister, or people who actually loved me, even though I thought they didn't, to feel this pain. And that was not fair.
If you
And
knew it,
yeah,
and if you knew Cole, you wouldn't think that he thought that, because he seemed like a happy little kid, but at the same time, he was a tremendous people pleaser.
yeah,
He was always the kid that put a smile on his face because he knew that he needed to. He knew that he was the kid that should always be happy and that always needed to be happy and always make people happy. And that was it's almost like the little kid that would put up a little happy face in front of his face, but behind it he was completely sad. And so as a mom, I knew that there was a huge portion of himself that was playing a part, but behind closed doors he was sad, because I would go into his room and he would be crying or he would be sad, but in front of people he would try to pretend like he was happy, but then he would have moments where he would be really volatile and really angry.
I just always would think, okay, what if my depression was worse than people thought? Then, like, if people who actually knew I was upset, then I feel like they're just gonna look at me way differently. Like, what if people actually knew that I had these suicidal thoughts? What if people knew that I just wanted to just disappear? Like, I just wanted to just go off the face of the earth, and just I feel like no one would even miss me. I didn't want to do medication or go to a psychiatrist because I felt like these people are just, I'm paying for them to listen to my problems. They don't care. They're just going to collect the check, strike me a prescription, and send me on my way. And I texted my dad that day that I was at BH, and I said, today is just really not a good day. I can't collab with anybody. I can't make any content because I feel like they're looking through me. I feel like I'm not even supposed to be here in the first place. I'm in my head. I can't get out. I feel like I'm trapped, and I want to cry. I want to go home. I want to cry, and I want to be by myself. I want to say, screw the entire world, lock the door, turn off the lights, listen to some music, and just disappear. So I texted him, and I said, today's not a good day. And he texted me and said, okay, well, that's actually good to hear that, because me and your mom actually made an appointment for you to see a doctor and to try to get some help. And I argued with him. I said, I don't need that crap. I said, I'm not psychotic. I'm not weird. I'm just sad today. I don't need it. But really inside myself, I knew that I've been sad my entire life. I really have said many times, there is not a time in my life where I've ever felt pure joy and happiness. It's just less sad than I normally am. So I flew home to Jacksonville, Florida, and I saw the doctor, and he gave me the help that I needed. He gave me pills to help me rest and for me to ease my mind and make my thoughts quiet. and for me to get the sleep that I needed, which is actually the first step that we're going to go off, is get enough sleep. Sleep is a huge thing that you need in your life. And I was not getting any of it. I would sleep for about, at the most, 4 hours, at the least, not at all. I would stay up all night.
Your mind went constantly.
My mind went constantly about things that I should have said that day, regrets that I regret from my past, or stressing about my future. I'm not taking the right steps that I need to take. What if I need to do this instead? What if I need to do this? Or just rehearsing scenarios in my head about what might happen tomorrow, or thinking, God, I just need more than 24 hours in a day to get everything I need to done tomorrow. Just constant stress and just crying.
Just
loops of thoughts. And I wasn't able to sleep. I would just stay up, and I would walk around the house at night, check all the doors if they're locked again, just redoing things that I've already done 1,000 times, or just staying up and just staring at my phone, or just staring at the TV, just watching movies, and just trying to clear my mind of something that I had no control over. I woke up the next morning and my mind was completely quiet, and it was perfect. I had control to think, okay, I need to plan out my day specifically. I need to plan out this. I need to take enough time to do this. I need to not think about all the things that I've done wrong in my entire life. I have the power to control my thoughts and think the way that I wanted to think, and it was amazing.
Yeah, so, Cole, one of the reasons Cole wanted me to join the talk today is really, this has been such a journey. He really wants to be able to help others to understand that, number one, they're not alone. Yeah. And this torment that he has been sharing with you, he's very brave for sharing it, because obviously it's not something that you normally hear from a guy. And it's also not something that you hear people so readily talk about, is depression and anxiety. But I think that it's worth noting that depression and anxiety is not something that we should be afraid of or afraid to talk about. Because, first of all, I want to say that my husband for sure didn't want to talk about. Like, it was something like, just be happy. Like, you have a good life. Like, just look around at your life and just be happy. Yeah. And it's just not that easy for some people, right?
Not at all.
As much as we shared with Cole to just think about something happy, that's not always so easy for some people. And if you're watching this today and you're going, yeah, exactly, I try, but it's just not that easy. There are some of us that our minds get stuck in a loop, a pattern of thinking. And so there are some things that we can do to help those things, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment.
Hi guys, I'm sorry to cut the video off so abruptly. I really wanted to stop the video right now because we're already at 17 minutes, and I really wanted to make this a two-part video. Part one that you just watched was my personal testimony and my struggles with depression and anxiety, and I really wanted to give you a heart-to-heart. If you find any relation to part one, or you know someone who would find relation to part one, I really want you to tune into part two. Part two is steps to take to beat this thing and better your mind and clear your headspace. Guys, it's going to be great. I really want you to join in, but if you cannot wait till Friday, here's the National Suicide Hotline in order for you to talk to someone whenever, 24/7. They're there to listen, guys, and they will listen, I promise, and they do care. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I want you to like, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you can get the video next week, which will again be on Friday. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Deuces.